Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for January 24th, 2020. We are now 7 days away from Brexit, or D-Day, whichever way you want to look at it. And we have some news from the EU. You see, without much difficulty, after the Lords shouted him down with a number of amendments, all of which were essentially squashed, the deal was delivered to the EU, where today Ursula von der Leyen and Charles Michel, who are now the newly ordained leaders of the European Commission and European Council respectively, have formally signed the withdrawal agreement, with Brussels now preparing for our departure in 7 days. This is huge news, everyone. Finally, we are getting somewhere. The will of the people is now being carried out in a way that they have wanted to for 3.5 years. And I will quote Boris regardless of whether you like him or not, the dither and delay is over. The next stage will be the transition period. 11 months to negotiate a comprehensive deal, which will entirely be based upon the structure of the withdrawal agreement bill itself. So going forward, how does this affect the EU? Well, for start, Charles Michel, who is now the president of the European Council, instead of Donald Tusk, will now chair meetings of 27 instead of 28 heads of state and government at the regular summits in the Belgian capital, with him saying in a short statement, "Things will inevitably change, but our friendship will remain. We start a new chapter as partners and allies." Ursula von der Leyen tweeted out that Charles Michel and I have just signed the agreement on the withdrawal from the UK, opening the way for its ratification by the European Parliament, which it will be done. I'm looking forward to seeing how the MEPs react when all the British ones have to leave. That is going to be quite interesting. I wonder if anyone's going to have the balls to start chanting, "Na na na na," to Nigel Farage. Hey, 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 naff off. Yeah. It should be noted that the signed copy of the agreement was sent in a diplomatic bag to Downing Street for the Prime Minister's signature, and on Thursday, the withdrawal agreement received royal assent from the Queen. This is a document that runs to almost 600 pages. It includes agreements on citizens' rights, the UK's financial obligations to the bloc, which is 33 billion, and the Northern Ireland Protocol, along with establishing the arrangements for maintaining an open border on the island of Ireland. The European Parliament's Constitutional Affairs Committee have backed the agreement by 23 votes to 3, which sets up the final act next week when a session of the EU Parliament will vote to ratify the deal, which they undoubtedly will vote to do. It would, however, and I should say this now, be absolutely hilarious, like so hilarious I almost cracked a smile, if the European Parliament decided, oh, what do we have here? A chance to make a poor decision and possibly make things more complicated? Sign me up. Which buttons no again? Now, under the agreement, the UK will leave the EU at midnight Central European Time on the 31st of January, which is 11 p.m. GMT. The UK will remain in the Single Market and Customs Union, but not in any of the decision-making bodies until the end of this year. I am going to be streaming on that night. Trups and I do a regular stream, as everyone knows, on Fridays. Next Friday is going to be an absolute banger, because I want to hear Big Bell rung for 500,000, said nobody. Maybe I'll ring my own bell. I'll go on to Amazon and buy one. I'll make that my Streamlabs goal. Okay. Boris Johnson has said that he will not take the option available to him in the withdrawal agreement of extending the transition period. He believes that 11 months without an extension is ample time to reach an agreement on a comprehensive deal, because he believes that now, with everyone's backs against the wall and a time limit strictly set and no give, that both sides can now come to an agreement. The EU's negotiating mandate is due to be adopted on the 25th of February by EU ministers attending a General Affairs Council, and formal negotiations begin then on the future relationship, which means we essentially spend the first month, arranging our Rubik's Cubes, planting our daffodils, burning all the pop vinyls. A political declaration on the outlines of the future relationship, which has already been given the political seal of approval in London and the EU capitals, will then set the parameters of the talks as the two negotiating teams seek to replace the terms of the UK's 45-year membership with new and improved arrangements. With this, I'm very much intrigued to know what you think. So please do let me know in the comments below. I think this is a huge step. It's that one thing now that sets up all those that have been dubbed Ramonas in Parliament to now stop. It's going to happen, unless the EU Parliament decides to go oh, in which case, brace yourselves, but I think we'll be okay. This is a huge deal, and I'm quite interested to see how it turns out. Now, as we are done, there is going to be a stream tonight on this channel at 9:30 PM GMT, a political recap with Trups LP. So if I don't see you here tonight, have a lovely day, and have a fantastic weekend.